Talk Nerd to Me presents Comic Book Video Podcast.
For the week of July 3rd, we're going to go through the best of our comics for this week, which we'll go through our cover of the week, which is going to be the best cover, or the one that you look at the shelf, you're like, what is that? I want to pick it up, type of thing.
It makes you want to buy it,
yeah,
you know?
Pretty much. And then, of course, you got your panel of the week, which is like, whoa, what the heck just happened? That looks awesome.
You're like, it catches you off guard because it looks so good, you know? For me, it usually has to do with text as well, you know? It doesn't have to, but, you know, we have different tastes, so for him it may be just art, for me it may just be
and then
the words.
Sometimes
it's both, or sometimes it's just one or the other, you know?
Or sometimes it's kind of drawn into it, the text, and that's just awesome looking.
Right, like it'll blam or whatever,
or
you know?
Whoosh.
Or bamf, you know? So, and then there's spread, which is like that, but on a bigger scale. It's, you know, a spread is, you know, it's a panel that takes up a whole page or 2 pages. So technically, it's still a panel, but it is a spread. One-page spread or 2-page spread.
Usually there's quite a bit going on in most spreads.
Right.
Except for even sometimes you get those really epic spreads where it's really just focused on one thing.
Right, and then, you know, we have our best book of the week. You know, sometimes we don't agree. You know, sometimes we'll have different books. Sometimes we do agree, but it's called the back and bag of the week. You know, for those of you comic book nerds, you know what it is. You get the backing, you know, which is that, you know, you get the sheet, the cardboard sheet, you know, so that it doesn't bend your comic. And then you get the bagging, you know, which is the sleeve that you put the backing into, and then you put your comic in there so it slides in there nice and easy, and then you tape it up and you seal it away because you know that it's so good it might be worth money, or it's so good that you just don't want it to get messed up.
Exactly.
Which, you know, sometimes there's more than one comic that's worth a back and bag, but our best one is the back and bag of the week. So that's that. You know, and then we are sponsored by Kaboom Teslabs.
And also Twin Sons, comics and gaming, oh my.
So let's go ahead and jump into your cover of the week, Ambassador.
Which I would say is worth back and bagging just because of how epic the cover is. It's Iron Man number 12 here, and it's cool. It pretty much shows the main characters.
It's kind of like the heist crew, you know, panels pretty much on the front cover, it's like cool. The crew, almost like an Ocean's 11 type of feel, you know, with panels, you know, turned into a comic type of thing, right?
Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like, and it's really cool because you got Howard Stark, you got the 551.
Yeah, Robot 451. You have Iron Man. You have Dum Dum Dugan. You have the Bear.
The Bear.
The Bear.
Which in this issue you find out why she's the Bear.
So my cover is Swamp Thing number 22. You know, he learns the hard way. Never trust Constantine. And the reason I picked this cover is not just because it looks awesome, because it does look great, but also because, to me, it really sends a message home of what this book is all about. Because sometimes you have covers, like Avengers was really great this week, and I think it looked the best. The thing is, though, it really has absolutely nothing to do with the comic. Now, this cover, it looks amazing. You know, it captures Swamp Thing perfect, and it captures Constantine perfectly, and it puts them on the same page, and then it tells you exactly what the story is about without any spoilers, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I enjoy that one, which I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into, you know, my panel of the week was also in this issue. So, you know, I'm going to show you that as well, because it just, you know, was one of those things that really just blew me away, you know? I saw it right away, and it just captivated me, and I was like, no way anything's going to top this week. And when I thought about it, and I was like, what is my cover of the week? I had to think about it, and I was like, oh, wait, I remember. It's right here in the corner. He looks really kind of goofy. He looks a little apish, you know. But I really like how he just looks like puzzled, like what the, like it was just really interesting. And he's like, oh crap, you know what I mean? So he knows stuff's about to go down, and like I said, it's one of those. The dialogue was good, because he's saying, oh no, and it has that look on his face. You don't even have to read the dialogue. You could just get it from looking at his face. It could be one of those things that's subtext. And it could be completely dialogueless. Could have been a dialogueless panel, but you got what he was saying anyways. So that's why it was my not just cover of the week, but my panel of the week was in there too.
Yeah, this one right here was a really big surprise. It was in Daredevil Dark Knights, and it was crazy because he's pretty much already completely worn out, Daredevil, and he's walking by and he hears a rape that's about to go on. And so he jumps in just the right amount of time, and it's great too because the guy who's going to do it is getting cocky. He's like, "Oh, it's just you and me," and then suddenly you see the next panel, and you see Daredevil's foot go in the door, and it's like, "And me."
And you see all the wood chips flying everywhere, and like his foot's popping out of the panel.
Right there with the K.
Yeah, you can hear the crack, of the door, of the wood splintering away. It is an awesome panel.
It was just epic, and it threw me by surprise because I didn't think it was going to happen in that way. But it was cool to just see Daredevil go up front and just in your face about it.
Right. Yeah, it was really impressive. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump in on this and say, you know what? Here's my spread of the week right here in Green Arrow number 22. It was just really awesome. It was crazy. Like I said, in our audio podcast, it really is Andrea Sorrentino just going to town doing what the crazy stuff that she does. Really, really awesome. So, I love it when she does those killer spreads. Blew me away. The colors was awesome too. So it's not just her. It was whoever's on colors. I don't even know. But it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal spread. Really liked it. Blew me away. Just the stuff going on in his head. It's so crazy. So that's why it was my cover of the week. What about you, Ambassador?
My spread of the week was in the movement, and you just open up this page and so much is going on, and you see this big epic battle going on, and you realize even though all these guys are here, they're still not standing a chance and getting outpowered by this one witch.
Yeah, I mean, you called it when you read it, and we were at Kaboom when you were reading it, and you're like, here's my spread of the week. Here it is right here. And I was like, you don't know that yet, man. You haven't read all your books. He's like, yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. That's what it is, and I was like, you're probably right. It looks amazing. Yeah. It's one of those spreads where you look at it and you're like, I could look at this for hours. Because there's so much detail in it. I love it when artists do that and they put so much damn work and so much detail into their work that you could literally spend, like I said, hours looking at their spreads, where it's just there's so much detail, there's so much to notice. I feel like that's almost the way that the level of detail in this is something that's kind of been missing from comics for a while. I feel like the times when they used to do that, or we're back in like the 90s or the 80s in comics, like with the Thanos quest, with that art where you would be in space and there'd be like so much small stuff and so much detail and so little things going on, and this is awesome,
Yeah, this is awesome, and it really helps set up the background of what's going on in this story.
Which it's great you're mentioning this panel because this was also my back and bag of the week.
Yeah, it was mine as well, movement. Just because it did everything I wanted it to do and then some.
Put this book on your list. Because if you go to the comic book every week and you go, I'm just going to pick up whatever's on the shelves, you're never going to find it. Because that's what I've been trying to doing, but now I have to put it on my list because I haven't been able to get any of the issues. I have to read this guy's issues because I can't find them. But what sucks is it's one of the greatest books that DC's. It's not only one of the greatest books that DC's putting out.
It's one of the greatest books out there right now.
It's one of the greatest books on shelves right now because it's doing something so unique and so different and so fresh, that no other comic is doing, especially in mainstream comics right now.
Yeah, it's doing something different with mainstream, but also the way it's going, even indie-wise, is just different. Because a lot of times, indie books will just try to go out of their way to not be mainstream.
Right.
Well, this is just a good balance of both.
Right. They try to be too offensive, or they try to be too edgy, and this walks that fine line of, is this too edgy? Is this playing it too safe? And it's nice to see them walk that fine line, really, and it's really interesting to see that every single week because it's a mainstream comic, so you really have to think, how are they gonna do it this week? You know what I mean? Or this month, this issue. You really have to be like, what is it? How is it going to be? I wonder what they're gonna do. The edgy things they're gonna pull off this week. Not to mention the art. That's something in indie art. Indie art can be really weird sometimes and off-putting, and this is the perfect balance of mainstream and indie art.
It's gritty, but at the same time, it looks very appealing and nice.
Which, that's exactly what you said to the artist when we saw him at the Albuquerque Comic Expo.
And you know what he said? That was what I was going for.
He's like, that's exactly what I was going for. So, which is really awesome, it's like, dude, you're hitting the freaking nail right on the head, so, I mean, the art team's killing it, like, the first scenes where this girl's just getting brutally, getting brutalized by these police officers, it's freaking gritty, it's gritty, and to see it, too, because, it kind of makes you sick seeing these cops beat the hell out of this girl. You know what I mean? She may be a badass and she may be hardcore, but I don't give a damn. It's still hard to see a girl getting the crap beat out of her. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And they could be doing other things besides the way they're approaching it.
Right. They could play it a lot safer, play it a lot easier.
Or, get out tasers or something, but not
freaking batons and fists and stomping and everything.
Nightsticks and whatever. It's not. You can really tell why this police force is corrupted and why these people are standing up to them.
And the questions they ask in this book too are something that I feel like they're questions that you could ask in our own society. Yes, this is taken to the next level. That's obvious. But you can't deny that there's elements of this in our actual society that people have the right to ask, and I love it when what do they say? When art mirrors reality or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
And then writing kind of mirrors it as well because they have this group that's basically anonymous.
Or art imitates reality, I think, is what it is. But so that's why it's the back and bag for me. So of course it's a strong buy. It's the best book of the week, without a doubt, for us. So that's it from us here at Talk Nerdy to Me, right?
Yeah.
So remember, keep those eyes hungry for
comics.